I bet I was surprised as you are when I discovered how versatile the cauliflower is. It used to be such a boring vegetable that you had when you tried to be healthy. Well, now you will discover how easy it is to make into delicious recipes with the cauliflower. Starting with cauliflower pizza. For the cauliflower pizza, you will need a food processor. Start by cutting your cauliflower into bite-sized pieces. Add in your cauliflower to the food processor. Break down the cauliflower until it resembles a sandy texture. Something similar to this. What we need to do next is boil the cauliflower. Start by heating some water with a little salt. Once your water is boiling hot, it's time to add in the cauliflower. Then cook your cauliflower on heat for about 2 minutes. Then turn off the heat and let it continue cooking for the other 2 minutes. Covered, of course. After the 4 minutes, using a mesh food strainer, strain all the water of the cauliflower. Make sure that you press excess water out. After successfully draining the water of the cauliflower, it's time to set them aside into a bowl to cool. Once the cauliflower is cooled, it's time to add in some shredded mozzarella cheese. Then some Parmesan cheese, followed by some seasoning, dried oregano, garlic powder. Finally, we're gonna add the combining agent, which is eggs. 2 eggs to be precise. That's why we let the cauliflower cool down, so we don't cook the eggs. Combine all the ingredients together. And now we are ready to form our pizza. Using a non-stick mat or a baking sheet or a wax paper, spread your mixture into the oven tray and start shaping your pizza. What you should be aiming for is a round shape with even surface. You don't want a part with a thick base and another part with a thin base. Before sending our cauliflower pizza crust to set in the oven, we need to cook our vegetables as well. A simple coating of olive oil to your desired vegetables. Here I'm adding some red onions and bell peppers, red and yellow. Into the oven it goes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees Celsius, for 20 minutes. Of course, this is your own pizza. You might not want to add some vegetables to it. You prefer just to add the sauce and cheese, then you can skip the vegetable step. Or maybe you like to add some meat to your pizza. The option is yours. Let me know your favorite toppings in the comments below. After 20 minutes, this is what your crust should look like. All that's left to do now is to build your pizza. We will start by adding our tomato sauce. Here I'm adding a regular marinara sauce and spreading it around. Then I added some shredded mozzarella cheese, followed by some Mexican style cheese, and topped with vegetables. The skin removed from the red pepper and yellow pepper. Red peppers and red onion. More cheese, shredded mozzarella, Mexican style cheese, and parmesan. Now we take it back to the oven to cook the ingredients and melt the cheese. Same temperature. This should take about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, this is the result. All that's left to do is to cut your pizza and enjoy. If you have any questions or comments about the cauliflower pizza, feel free to leave them below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel and sharing the videos with your friends. Now we will move to our next cauliflower recipe, cauliflower rice. Same as we did with the cauliflower pizza, we cut it into pieces and shred it using a food processor. Once the shredding is done, it's time to cut your yellow onion. Cut it into cubes. Then get your skillet and fill it with your olive oil. Heat up the olive oil on a medium heat. Add in the onions and start frying them. A touch of salt. Continue frying until your onions are soft and translucent. Then add in your cauliflower. Toss the cauliflower and onions together until they're cooked completely. Once the mixture is cooked, turn off the heat and add in a bit of parsley. Mix that in and let it cook with the heat of the pan. Taste it to make sure that it's cooked and well seasoned. Finish off with a squeeze of lemon. Mix that in, and with that, your cauliflower rice is done. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And now we will move to our next recipe, cauliflower tortilla. For the cauliflower tortilla, it's almost the same process as the cauliflower pizza. We start by cutting the cauliflower and adding it to the food processor. Cut the cauliflower in the food processor until you get this consistency, a sand-like texture. Then all you have to do is add in a bit of salt and not one, not two, but 3 eggs. Mix all those eggs in. Prepare your oven tray using a non-stick mat or a baking sheet or wax paper. Spray your surface with non-stick spray. Now you can scoop out the mixture using your hand and shape the tortillas. Just like that. Making sure that you have a round and even surface tortilla. It's almost like making the cauliflower pizza, but instead of making a big circle, you are making a small circles. Fill your baking sheet. Mine can handle 6. Into the oven it goes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees Celsius, for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, this is the result. Here I have a simple serving suggestion for the tortillas. You can add some chicken breast, lettuce, and some Japanese mayo. If you have any questions or comment about the cauliflower tortilla, please feel free to leave them below. And now to our fourth cauliflower recipe: fried, crispy cauliflower. Let's start by making the batter for frying. For the dry ingredient, we will need some flour, all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of white pepper, finally about half a teaspoon of salt. Mix all those ingredients together, and now we can move to the wet ingredients. What you need is 2 eggs, and some whole fat milk. Mix the wet ingredients together, the eggs and the milk, until they incorporate. And now we get ready for our dredging station. We have our cauliflower cut and ready to be dipped. Next to it, we have our tray where we will keep the cauliflower lined with some wax paper. One hand in the eggs and milk mixture, then into the flour. Toss until it's covered completely, starting from the wet ingredient to the dry ingredient until it's covered completely. And now we can prepare for frying. Heat up some oil, some neutral oil like sunflower or canola oil, then add in your cauliflower. Fry them all around until they're golden brown. Turn them frequently making sure that you fry every bit that's covered in flour. Once they turn golden brown, it's time to remove. On a medium heat, this process should take about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Remove and leave it on a paper towel to drain off excess oil. This is the end result of frying. But we are not done. What's left to do? We're gonna make some bechamel sauce to cover the cauliflower. Starting with heating equal amount of butter, unsalted butter, and flour. Make sure you do this process on a low heat so you don't burn the flour. Keep an eye on it and continue mixing. Once the flour has absorbed all the butter and start to become foamy, it's time to add in your milk. Add in your milk a little bit at a time and continue mixing the dough. Add some more milk and continue mixing. At some stage in the sauce making process, you might be better off to switch to a whisk. Once you reach the desired thickness, it's time to add in your salt and pepper. You can either cover the cauliflower with the sauce or set it aside. I prefer to set it aside if I am not too sure that everybody would like the sauce. But if I'm sure that everyone would like this sauce, I would cover the cauliflower with it. It all depends on your guest or service. Thank you for watching till the end. If you have any questions or comment, please feel free to leave them below. And if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving us a thumbs up, and sharing the videos with your friends. And now to our final and fifth cauliflower recipe: cauliflower soup. We start by cutting our cauliflower into small pieces. We also need to cut one large onion into cubes. Followed by some carrots. For the carrots, you need to cut them into round pieces. And celery. Heat up your Dutch oven or soup pot. Add in 1 stick of unsalted butter. Once the butter is melted, add in your onions. Cook your onions until they soften a little bit. Add in a sprinkle of salt. After about 7 to 10 minutes of onion cooking, add in your carrots and celery. After about 10 minutes of cooking the carrots and celery, you can add the cauliflower. Cook the cauliflower through with the onions, carrots and celery until they soften a little bit. And then add in your chicken stock or vegetable stock. Add in a handful of parsley, and then cover and let it cook for about 15 minutes. While the soup is cooking, it's time to make our bechamel sauce. I covered the sauce in the previous section, in the fried cauliflower section. Basically, what you need to do is add equal amounts of butter and flour, cook them through, and add whole fat milk slowly. Once you have your bechamel sauce, set it aside. After about 15 minutes of cooking, this is the result. And now it's time to bring out the blender. Blend and break down the vegetables and the cauliflower until it forms into a soup. Add in the bechamel sauce. Continue blending and mixing the bechamel sauce in. Finish off with some salt black pepper and white pepper. And your soup is ready to be served. As a serving suggestion here, I'm going for room temperature sour cream at the bottom of the bowl, about a teaspoon per person, followed by the soup. You might even want to go with just a squeeze of lemon. I would also recommend finely chopped chives on top of the soup. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed those 5 recipes. If you have any questions or comment, please feel free to leave them below. I hope you enjoyed those 5 recipes or any of the recipes in this video. If you like this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel and sharing the videos with your friends.